Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. As you can tell by the title of the video, we're going to be testing out the new Kosas Foundation. It's called the Kosas Revealer Skin-Improving Foundation, and I also went ahead and purchased their concealers since I haven't tested this out. So if you would like to see what my thoughts are on these complexion products and how it wears, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright guys, these are what the unicorns look like. I do enjoy how it looks fresh. Kosas is definitely a clean makeup brand that you can purchase at Sephora. Let's see if I can look. 12-month shelf life. The foundation was made in the USA, and the concealer, this is what the unicorn looks like. Also pretty simple and fresh. This has a 6-month shelf life, and it was also made in the USA. All right guys, this is what the foundation bottle looks like. I do enjoy it. I think it's pretty, it's simple, and it's fresh, which I feel is going to be a very common theme. The bottle is a frosted glass. I do enjoy the cap, and it does come with a pump, which is always nice, and it definitely matches the concealer. Again, I love the yellow. This is plastic, and the difference is that the glass in the foundation is frosted, and in the concealer it's not. It's like a glossy component. The Kosas Foundation, you can purchase this at Sephora or on the Kosas website. It is available in 36 shades. Again, this is the Kosas Revealer Skin Improving Foundation with SPF 25. For me personally, I don't mind that the SPF is in here, but I also would be okay if it didn't, because I always add my own SPF. It says it also has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. It is available in 36 shades, which I think is a beautiful shade range. Okay, the claims on this on the Sephora website: a clean skin improving medium coverage SPF 25 foundation and treatment with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalene, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. It is a medium coverage, and the finish is natural. So that sounds like it's probably going to be a kind of glowy, like my skin but better type of foundation. For the concealer, and I'm sure you have probably seen so many reviews on this because it's not a new concealer, but it is new to me. This is the Kosas Revealer Super Creamy Brightening Concealer and Daytime Eye Cream. It is available in 28 shades. That is also a really good shade range. This costs $28. And it is a crease-proof medium coverage super creamy concealer. I hate it when they say crease-proof because that's not true. Eye cream and spot treatment in one that visibly brightens and helps reveal better looking skin. Medium coverage, finish is radiant. So also seems like it's going to be a my skin but better natural type of finish. All right, so let me go ahead and get you on in closer so we can get started with putting these on my face. All right, guys, the only thing I have on my face right now is this Wet n Wild primer serum. I'm using it to kind of get my skin moisturized a tiny bit. Also, I did bring the volume down on my daughter's iPad. She went ahead and put the volume up just a tiny bit without me knowing. I do want to show you swatches. The top one is a foundation, which I'm a little worried because it looks yellow. I picked it up in the shade Light Medium Neutral Olive 210. It is described as a light medium with subtle olive undertones. That looks yellow to me. And for the concealer, which is the bottom, I picked it up in shade 060, which is medium with olive undertones. So hopefully this will work. All right, so I did moisturize my full face, but I did have someone comment saying that they would have enjoyed to see one of my foundation reviews. I can't remember which one, without primer. I always wear primer. I never not wear primer. I already know 100% that I am not going to like the foundation if I don't wear a primer. I just feel like the oils in my T-zone come out so much quicker than when I don't use a primer, but I will go ahead and put primer on one side and no primer on the other so we can test my theory out. I am going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Serum. I'm going to use this in like my T-zone because this is really, really blurring. I have a full bottle, but I'm trying to use up this sample that I got. All right, so I'm going to, as you can see, I have a blemish. I mentioned in one of my videos that my daughter, my twin daughter, likes to French kiss my chin. And usually when they do that while they're eating a grilled cheese sandwich that was made with butter, it's not a good ending. That's what you get. All right, and I'm going to use the ColourPop No Filter Primer because this is a mattifying primer, and I have a feeling this is going to be a natural glowy type of product. I figured this would be perfect for this foundation. Okay, I also did bring a wet sponge. This is just like a big fluffy e.l.f. sponge, and I am going to use this Morphe E6 brush. So I'll go ahead and use the brush for the side that I have the primer because I prefer a brush anyways. So I'm going to pump some on my finger, and I did not do a full pump. I like to build up my foundation. So here we go. Hopefully it's not too yellow, even though it looks like it might just be too yellow. Okay, it's a creamy formula. It does feel lightweight. Doesn't feel like it's going to be heavy, which is nice. All right, guys, so this is what we're looking like, and the tone is definitely a little yellow. I'm not 100% sure why I picked this shade. I thought I was going to get 200, and I might have gotten this one by mistake because 200 is neutral. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It just looks... Here is what it looks like. I do like the finish. It's definitely a natural finish, and I think you are able to build this up to a medium coverage. I want to say altogether I probably used maybe 3/4 of a pump, and it might have been a tiny bit too much. I'm liking it. I'm liking the finish. All right, so now I'm going to do this side with the sponge. Okay, so this is what both sides are looking like, and you definitely get less coverage with a sponge. Some of the product does get absorbed, but I'm liking this side better than this side because I feel like I went a little heavy hand on this one. Okay, so this is what the face is looking like. As far as application wise, it looks the same, or it looked the same on both sides. It's just for the sponge side, you get a little less coverage because the sponge does absorb some of the product. So I think when I wear this foundation, I'm going to apply it first with the sponge, and if I want to build it up anywhere, because I did have to build it up here around my cheek, I do have a little bit of pinkiness going on and I did have to cover it up, and I used the brush for that and it worked perfectly. So far I'm enjoying the finish. The olive tone doesn't look too bad. I don't feel like I would have definitely preferred the neutral tone, just because I feel like my tone is a little more on the neutral side, but it still looks pretty, and I'm sure once I get nice and powdered, you won't be able to notice too much. I don't see a difference as far as the finish with the primer side and the non-primer side. I think the real test is going to be in the wear test and not how it looks on top. Even if you don't use primer, you should still have some sort of moisturizer under your foundation. All right, let's get in closer so we can do the concealer. All right, guys, this is what the doe foot applicator looks like. And as you can see on this side, I have that red little dot. It's actually a burn. Yesterday I was cooking rice. I didn't realize that it was frozen. Some spots in my fridge, it freezes the food. Well, when I poured it onto the hot pan, it started jumping. A grain of rice landed right on my eye. So it was hot, and I tried wiping it and it just wasn't coming off. And then finally when I got it off, I was like, oh, that's gonna leave a mark. So that's a burn mark. All right, so let's go ahead and apply this. Hopefully it looks okay. It looks like it's going to be more of like a natural under eye than brightening, which I'm okay with. I don't mind. Okay, and I think what I'll do is for this side, I'll do the brush, and for this side, I'll do the sponge, just for funsies. Let's start here. Probably should have done this last so I can get the most coverage, but that's fine. Yeah, it's not going to be like brightening at all. Okay, so this is the side with the brush and this is the side with the sponge. I am preferring a tiny bit this side with the sponge. You do get less coverage, of course, but I feel like it left it a tiny bit smoother. I feel like this brush is a little too dense. As of right now, this side is looking a little bit more on the heavier side, and this side is looking more natural, which is what I prefer. The foundation. Yeah, I prefer this side. Okay. All right, guys, and this is what the base is looking like. I do feel like the shade is looking okay now with the powder and everything else. Not too bad at all. In the daylight or in natural lighting, it might look different. Right now I have these wonderful, beautiful lights that make everything look gorgeous and flawless. Okay, so as of right now, I prefer this side. I just honestly, I went a little too heavy hand for the side with the brush, and I think it's, I mean, even though this is a fluffy kabuki brush, I do feel like I probably should have used a fluffier foundation brush because it does look a tiny bit heavier on this side than it does on this side. This side, I am loving how it looks. The under eyes, so as you saw, I did use the Kosas Comfy Cloud Set powder. I forget what shade this is. Is it Comfy? I don't know. But yes, I used this powder for my under eyes. I have never used it for my under eyes, and it actually did a really good job. My under eyes look beautiful. Can you see that? I'm not mad at this. Okay, so let me finish off the rest of my face off camera and I'll be back. All right, guys, this is check-in number 1 for this Kosas foundation. I'm also testing out the concealer since I haven't tried it and it's new to me. I did go ahead and apply everything as far as the base, so concealer and foundation, with a sponge. I didn't even use a brush today, except on my blemishes here, which I feel they're covered all right, but I mean, this one's pretty bad. This one, it's getting there. All right, so I feel like everything is looking good. My under eyes are looking good. Not as great as yesterday. I wonder why. I'm not sure, but everything is still looking good. I much prefer this coverage. I feel like I went too heavy-handed when you guys saw me put it on for the first time. This is more my jam, and I feel it looks absolutely beautiful. This side has primer and this side does not have primer, but everything else is the same. I did use the Kosas powder for under my eyes, and I used the NYX Can't Stop One Step mattifying powder for the rest of my face. But I feel like everything is looking beautiful. Under eyes are looking good. I got that little spot there, that little burn. But yeah, everything's looking good. It's been about an hour since I applied this. All right, so I will see you guys for the second and last check-in, and let's see if the primer helps the oils not come out as fast on this side, which is the side with the primer, and this side is the side with no primer, just moisturizer. All right, guys, check-in number 2 for this new Kosas foundation, and I'm also trying out the concealer because I had never tried it out before, and it's new to me. It is now 8:57. I finished applying my complexion at 12:45 this afternoon. It's just a tiny bit over an 8-hour wear test. Under eyes, I feel, are looking fabulous. So far, the claims about this concealer are absolutely correct. Okay, so now for the foundation, I am looking at the mirror. It does look, of course, like my Tzone got a tiny bit oily, which is normal. The difference is that I don't feel it got as oily as the LYS one. Maybe just on my nose, like right at the tip. Everything else, I am 100% okay with what it looks like. And as far as the side with the primer and the side without the primer, this side is primer, this side no primer. I do feel like maybe just a tiny bit more oil here, and that's about it. Everywhere else, it looks just about the same as the other side, which is nice. So if you're somebody who doesn't really wear primer and just moisturizes, and you have similar skin type than I do, I think you'll be okay with no primer, which is great. Yeah, I give both of these complexion products 2 thumbs up. I think they performed beautifully. This new Kosas foundation is definitely a really good one. They did a great job. Okay, well, that's it. That concludes this wear test, and I am extremely ecstatic and happy with the results. All right, guys, I will take you back to Mary in the studio. All right, guys, this is what the full face is looking like. I did go in with the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow wand thing, and I did top it off with some glitters from JD Glow, just because I feel like these need a little bit more oomph. I love how the eye look came out. And I did go into some Glamnetic lashes. These are in Queen. Love these. Okay, as of right now, I do enjoy the way that my base is looking. I just feel it's looking a little bit too heavy, and I 100% am blaming myself for that. This side, because I used too much with the brush, and this side I was trying to even out both sides. So that is totally my fault. But it just proves that yes, you can definitely build it up to a medium coverage. So if you are purchasing this and want it to be like you're going out foundation, it's got you covered. Concealer, I'm loving it. So far, the claims about this concealer are 100% correct. As far as first impressions go, my under eyes are looking banging. Can you see? And I think definitely with this concealer, I'll make sure to use the Kosas setting powder because I feel like they go very well together, which is nice. For the wear test, which you guys have already seen and already know the verdict, I'll probably change some things up and you already know what I changed and how that went. So let me go ahead and go on out, show you the full face and give you some quick final thoughts and close out this video. All right guys, and this is what the full face looks like. Overall, first impressions, I'm really loving both of these products. Now, I definitely have to remember that I need to use a sponge with these because with a brush, it just builds up a little heavier than I would like. And, you know, some of us are so set in our ways, and I'm talking about myself. I forget that I can use a sponge. So I think definitely for these products, I will be using a sponge, and if I need to build it up anywhere, then I'll use the brush to do that. But now that I'm talking about this, I remember that for the Charlotte Tilbury, the airbrush foundation, I use a sponge for the same reason. If you are a full coverage or like medium to full coverage, I definitely feel like you are going to enjoy these products because you can really build them up, and I would definitely consider these products to be like special occasions type of products. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Other than it looking like, okay, I went full coverage, I'm loving what I'm seeing. This is not a typical coverage that I normally go for, but like I said, problem solved with the sponge for sure. All right guys, price range, honestly it just depends on you, but I do feel that $42 for foundation is kind of on the higher end side, and the concealer is what, 28, so the same price as KVD, which I definitely consider to be a high-end product. So LYS just released a concealer and they have their foundation, and those are also good products. So you have both options. You have this Kosas, which you can get both the concealer and the foundation if you don't already own the concealer, or you can purchase the concealer for the LYS to go with the foundation if you already have the foundation. It really is a personal preference, but I definitely do feel like this is more on the high-end side as far as pricing goes, and it would have to be a personal preference. Okay, well, I'm excited because I enjoyed both of these products. Yay! You guys know how the wear test went. All right, well, that's it. That concludes this video. All right guys, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right guys, I will see you on the next video.